Good night. Welcome to other Sports Frenzy podcast. And from a city face, you know that it's your boy Levon. And with me tonight, I have Devin, the all rounder. Man who is here for cricket, football, NFL. And when basketball turn up, this man will be here as well. And I even heard him talking about what is that? What is that again? Baseball? Yes, so
Baseball, yeah man,
this man is
baseball.
an
But
all
two
rounder.
Yankees drop out now, me just
Any sport.
yeah man.
But remember doing Devin, I told you that no New York team is good, not even the Nets. So I don't know why you were riding on the Yankees.
No, but we have to support the team now in our area, because that's the only team. That's my logic, That's the only team that can bandwagon, Yeah, can bandwagon a team in our area. Yeah.
I get what you're saying, but the man who is normally here as well, Kims, isn't here tonight because according to him he's a cricketer, but boy, I don't know his track record, So Kims have to sit this one out. And Devin, just like you asked, here's Anthony in the comment section already asking, where is Demo? Where's Demo? Where's Demo? Where's Demo? So Demo, the people don't want to see your face, man. So you need for sure. But I remember last night on the podcast, Demo spoke glowingly that he expected the West Indies to actually win this game and all of that. No, well, he said that had Karen Pollard not captain the team, he expected him to bat first because Puran seems to be a more proactive captain in terms of the toss. No, West Indies went ahead, they won the toss. They never made any changes to the starting 11. So, with that in mind, Pollard played, and boy, if you ask me, Pollard never make any sense in that team. Well, all the players never really make any sense. But they won the toss, elected to field first, and that is where we're going to start, Devin. He opened the bowling with Rastan Chase, and I believe he conceded like what, six of the first over.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw him concede the six of the first over, Jason Holder opened from the other end. I was like, okay, no problem. Bowl a decent first over as well. Now come the third over. I'm like, why is it that you started with Rastan Chase conceding six of the first over? That's decent in T20 cricket, So why is it that they
That's
never give
good one.
Rastan Chase another over? Not even decent. It's good in
Yeah.
T20. So with that in mind, why is it that they never gave Rastan Chase another over, that third over?
Right. Hello.
Yeah, man, go ahead, man.
Yeah, let me say ride with him. Like the other day, I was watching a game with, who was it? It was Maxwell. No, I think it was Glenn Maxwell. Right, Australia start with him.
Mm-hmm.
Do one good over, right? So somebody else come do the second over, the third over, him do the one good over, still ride with him. Same thing with somebody from England. First over, and when we go back to Maxwell, there's another game where him do the first over, and guess what? Beatings. So captain, guess what? Put him one side. Because you try. Because in warfare with most of these teams, they have four specialists or four so-called good bowlers, and they try to find a fifth over between anybody. You get what I'm saying? They try to find, like in Australia, it's between like Maxwell and that guy named Steiner. Because Steiner's just come back from an injury and everything. So it's the same thing now with West Indies, though. I don't know if we don't have any real straight great bowler like Australia like that, but we still have some guys who said these are the bowlers we expect to give you four. And you try to get like a two from Chase or whatever. So when you see that Chase do good, you work with him until things go bad. You get what I'm saying? Give him the third over.
Mm-hmm.
If later on now, if you see him get beat now, you can't wait till down and the thing when everybody gets set now and them look for like just go after every bowler. You work with him at the beginning and then power play is still in effect. Power play can work for and against, so you can try go over the top, get somebody out and stuff like that. So I was surprised that he just didn't persist with it and try to at least see if you bowl him in consecutive overs, it might be his day. He might get away with 3 over for you get away with 3 over for 21 runs in T20, 11. That is good, because
Yeah.
on average, if a team chasing 140, That's a good thing for you to chase. So 7 and over, I'll consider to be good as a bowler, and he conceded 6.
Okay. All right. Shakes, welcome to the podcast again, boss. I was listening to the commentary while it was going on, and I heard, I don't remember who was on commentary with Darren Sammy at the time, but the person asked some of the questions, said in 2012 and 2016 you
Alan
had
Wilkins.
attacking bowlers. You had the likes of Sunil Narayan, you also had Samuel Badri, and those guys as attacking bowler. No, he's looking at the current West Indies players and he's saying that if you look at the bowling lineup, all of the players that are bowling are defensive bowlers. They're not attacking bowlers. They're not players that you could say, all right, you see a man farmer partnership, like the partnership that Nisanka and Asalanka formed. And he's saying that this is the perfect time that you would actually bring in an attacking bowler to break that partnership. Because that would be the perfect situation scenario for a person like Sunil Narayan, with his mystery and all that come into play. They're going to go after him because of their mindset. They're now laid a foundation, so they know that they're going to go after everything. So this would be perfect for an attacking bowler. And the only really one you would say in the team right now that you would probably consider as an attacking bowler, is the one that leak runs, and that is Aiden Walsh. No, he hasn't played any game whatsoever. Now, with that in mind, do you agree that all these bowlers in the West Indies are defensive minded?
All right, so the commentator that you're talking about is Alan Wilkins, right? Because all they could do from the game was actually reminisce about 2012 and what 2016 is it, or 2019? One of them.
Yeah,
2019.
16.
Yeah, 16. Okay, yeah.
16, yeah.
But yeah, that's all they could talk about. Because first and foremost, they were saying, Darren Sammy, you're here in the commentary box, and you have so many players that were there from the T20 team back in 2012 who are still in this current setup, right? So it was like, it's basically like you're giving everybody a party at the end of the day for winning the two previous, or well, it's not two, it's 3 previous World Cups. So yeah, it's like a party. But you're talking now about the bowling. When you really think about it, there is nobody in that bowling unit apart from Akil Hussain, who you could say just because of his spin could really, really get a wicket at any point. Akil Hussain wasn't even in the starting 11. He had to come off the plane and end up in the 11. Jason Holder had to come off the plane and end up in the 11. So you see, the entire selection was wrong from the get-go. Because if you have a reserve pool, right, and players, yes, we know people can get injured for a tournament, right, even during warm-ups. But if you have a man that comes in that was already not in the setup and automatically gets into the 11, and it's not just one player we had doing that, it was 2. There is obviously some gross error in what was done. When I say Andre Russell bowling, yeah, listen, I don't care what people want to say about that final over against Bangladesh. Bangladesh is such an insipid team. Listen, Bangladesh is so worthless right now, and it's no surprise that they didn't even win their group in the first round. Because remember, nobody expected Bangladesh to be in our group, right? So that win that West Indies got against Bangladesh, listen, it was the worst of the worst. Some people even said that, listen, it is like 2 associate nations playing, how poor the game was, right? So you see the entire assessment of the team, there can be no surprise. We don't have a Mitchell Stark, right? We don't have somebody like Chris Wokes. So England, Australia, or even Hazelwood for Australia. I'm not really gonna touch on the Indian team because for me, they're still going to drop out of the tournament. South Africa. South Africa has slowly been building in the tournament, right? I remember when Dismal said South Africa no good. I did not disagree with him, but if you realize they have built during this tournament, right? But they have Rabada, they have Narkia, right? Two excellent bowlers. If we look at Afghanistan
Then
is just
look at their spin department. Tabir Shamsi is an attacking bowler.
yeah. He is one of them, right? He's one of them. And then when you go to New Zealand, you have Southey, you have Bolt, you have Santner that's very economical, right? But at the same time, he can be an attacking bowler in games. So you see West Indies really, the selection pool horrible, team setup horrible. The gameplay can't be surprised by it. There are many persons, as we spoke about, from the CPL that performed well, who have not been selected in the team. That has to be a big issue. You can't pick players based on name only, right? It has to be, what have you done for me lately? We always say T20 has evolved. Why is it West Indies still in the stone age for T20? It's the same thing for Bangladesh. The commentators keep on saying it, that listen, UAE pitches are supposed to be so suited for Bangladesh because they are the type of pitches that they play on. Yet still, they are so horrible on the pitches because guess what? The right tactics have not been employed with their team. So literally, it's like a toss-up between Namibia and Bangladesh, and right now I even believe Namibia could beat Bangladesh if you were to put them. Yeah, because Namibia has shown more fight, more grit in the tournament. Oh my lord, how could I forget? Trumpelman from Namibia. He's an attacking bowler, right? West Indies, who does West Indies have? Come on, Andre Russell coming into bowl. Lollipop.
Yeah. And then what are the justifications that they give? Yeah, one of the justifications the selectors they give to bring O'Shane Thomas was that for his pace and able to like be an attacking bowler. They didn't play him. However, in early podcasts we said that their best fast bowler they left him in the Caribbean, and the guy named Odion Smith, the dude from Guyana. And
there's no way I was going to say there's no way you can leave Odion Smith at home. No possible way.
And I don't know if it's a fitness thing, because all these fitness thing that we're give exemption, that's garbage to me, right? A 24-year-old guy man running and bowling fast. Plus, not only is fast, he has more control because his average was like 7.5 runs per over, 7.4 something, close to 7.5, right? So he has control and he had the pace. He wasn't fast and foolish like Odin. So bring that man then. Bring that man then. If you want that guy to be like, if you want somebody to be like attacking bowler then with speed, who can get you some wicket by sheer speed within this T20, you bring O'Shane Thomas, and he's not gonna get a game. So it doesn't make sense.
But Devin, you see, no, it's not. All right, go ahead, Levon.
No. Go ahead, Shakes.
Oh, I was just gonna say one thing about even for O'Shane Thomas, right? These pitches, they aren't even suited for fast bowling. There's only one pitch thus far. South Africa played a game on it other day, their last game, and the other team, I don't remember who played before them, but that's just one pitch. Like some of these grounds, have like 6 to 8 pitches or 9 pitches, right? And probably only one of the pitches actually suited to fast bowling. So it's all about accuracy and control.
Yeah, good. This is a good point because I was going to say, all right, you look at a man from Pakistan, Haris Rauf. He has bowled consistently fast right throughout the tournament, right? But guess what? He has control and he has accuracy. So I mean, for a man like O'Shane Thomas, I don't think we'll actually do well in this tournament, because he's not suited to fast bowling. He doesn't have accuracy and he doesn't have good control. So This is where a man like Dean Smith comes in now. A man who has control, a man who has accuracy, and a man who hits a particular line and sticks with it, right? This is also the perfect type of pitches for a man like Dominic Drakes. That is the next youth that they left at home who could have done way better than Ravi Rampal and those guys. Dominic Drakes, yes, he may not be the fastest, however, he has control and he's an attacking bowler. As proven in this tournament, even if your frontline players might leak runs at the front, when you have players that come into the middle, like bowlers that comes into the middle overs, you can regain control of the innings. As proven multiple times. So, I mean, if you look at this team, the selection first up was very poor because we keep on saying it at first. And I remember that Devin and I got a lot of stick on this show. We said that Christopher Henry Gill, no matter how great he is, that man should stay in yard. People just say, oh, it's the universe boss and you cannot leave out that man and what have you not. But we'll touch on that later. We're just focusing on the bowling part for right now.
But this big up to Anthony Henry in the commentary. But then what you're saying, all right, no one bring person who have any international experience. So what we're gonna take? All these dinosaurs who are way past their best, just like what Sheikh said. Darren Sammy's in the commentary box with some of these guys who started from in 2012. You know what I mean? So even though we're saying you want people who experience every tournament, you have to bring at least a one or two guys in your 11 who is young, upcoming, and promising. You can't have all of these people who, like, people used to them, know about them. You get what I'm saying? You have to have somebody who, all right, so the body don't know about if he has a slower delivery, the body know about his pace, like a person like O'Dane Smith, raw, sheer pace. Could be the element of surprise. You get what I'm saying? So you have to bring a mixture. Who is the youth that they really boss? Who is the player that you could say West Indies, bring to say, all right, we're going to try to see if this guy have a good tournament? Nobody.
Two quick points based on what Devin just said. Because I've been looking at what Anthony Henry is saying, but I remember West Indies played a series against Sri Lanka. A fellow got hit for what? 6 sixes in an over. His name is what? Hasaranga, not true?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Sri Lanka knew that the T20 World Cup was coming up. They never mind losing to West Indies here in the Caribbean. They were building their team for this tournament. I'm not saying that Sri Lanka going to go win the World T20, right? Because I don't know how they're going to really qualify. Because they have played what, 4 games now? Or 5? 4. I think it's 4.
At the points table, right? Yeah.
But we know that the run rate is going to be a problem for them. But guess what? They have acquitted themselves pretty well. They were unlucky against South Africa. But outside of that, their team, listen.
Sorry, Sheiks. They play all their 5 game, Sheiks.
They play all their 5, yeah. So they're out.
Yeah.
So they're out. All right.
Yeah, out.
So even though they're out, right? All the youngsters, you could see that, okay, they acquitted themselves pretty well. Because,
Sheikh,
listen,
I'm glad that you identified that, because guess what? It's even though they're out of the tournament, the young players that they have in their team, because even the commentators keep on saying that the youngsters from Sri Lanka did themselves well, because you look at Nisanka is 23. You look at Asalanka is 24. You look even at the guy that he never bowled all that well today, that is the Karunaratne guy. He's 25. You look down further and you look at a man like Asaranga and those guys. Asaranga is ranked number 1 in the world for 20 bowlers. And then you look further down, they have quite a few guys. So I mean, they acquitted themselves well when I look at West Indies.
But Levon, these players that play for Sri Lanka, we don't know them, We don't know them. People don't know them, Hasaranga's name. People only know Hasaranga because he's the number 1 bowler, but guess what? You know what he's known for in recent time? He got hit for 6 sixes. Right?
No, he didn't. What?
Huh?
Who really got Hasaranga for 6 sixes?
Who was the bowler that got hit for 6 sixes in the Caribbean?
Danangia.
Yes. That's the guy I was mixing him up with. Right?
Well, Dima thinks that heads must roll at the top. Oh, okay.
But they have been building from the Caribbean just the same, right? Where it's just youngsters in their team, right? Whereas on the other hand, West Indies, all them have old people. Old people. Old people.
Yes, sir.
Shakes, another player that we're leaving out that is actually quite young as well for Sri Lanka is the other spinner, Tikshana. Tikshana is 21. So I mean, they give valuable experiences to guys like these. Now, as you said, when you look at West Indies now, who have they given any sort of experience to being youngsters?
We are asked that,
Anyone
but
of you,
more know
anyone
if
of you
we
guys
can
can
come,
think
if
of?
we can
Oh
come
yeah,
in.
man. You go and talk now, Dima. You are the guru. So go ahead.
No, but may I wait for my introduction because we just joined, so I don't want to jump the gun.
Oh,
Yeah?
we're talking about the bowling aspect of the West Indies team.
All right. So first of all, good night, everybody. I saw a lot of people asking for me in the comment section. I don't know why, but you know, I'm here now. All right. So good night to everybody and big up the panelists. Listen, I've been listening and I've been hearing a lot of nonsense from you guys. Zim, I'm hearing a lot of nonsense. Who you should have carry? Why you leave Odin Smith and all of this rubbish and the Chris Gayle argument come up again and all of this.
That now go away.
Listen, I have said this before on countless times. The team that was selected was one of the best teams that you could select on paper. My only problem was that Jason Holder wasn't a part of the 15 and we wouldn't kill people if Jason Holder wasn't a part of the 15 because Fabian Allen and Obed Makar was in the team and you couldn't make it because of the all-rounders that's already there. Yeah, so we wouldn't kill. And Akil Hussein. So those are my only two issues that I have. Odin Smith, Rutherford, all of those guys, the fitness test failed and who not fail, never do one. I brought John Campbell on this platform and he told us what the fitness test was. People need to stop coming here and say, oh, in there bowl 114 at the CPL and all of this stuff. It doesn't matter. The fitness test, John Campbell told us what it was, and it wasn't about bowling no 140 miles per hour and whatever. You get a certain time for do certain stuff, and they did not pass it, so they didn't go. Rutherford, he didn't do the fitness test, so he couldn't go. So all of that stuff need to stop now. They never go. Rutherford was in line to go, and he didn't do the fitness test. All right, so we can stop talking about that. The Chris Gayle argument, Owen Morgan not making any runs to England either, but he's the captain. He can't scratch him age. But everybody know what Owen Morgan's bring as a captain and what he does whenever him come up.
Stick up in. I'm going to stop it right there. Hold on. I'm going to stop it right there. What do you mean by the man can't scratch him age? The man make a 40 the other day when
No,
he
but
needed to make runs.
leading into the tournament, Owen Morgan couldn't scratch him age. So may I try and make the similarities with
the
Chris
captain.
Gayle.
And guess what? England has depth. England has depth that West Indies doesn't.
What?
That's the point in it. So Morgan not batting well. What did they have?
West Indies bat from 1 to 11.
Every player, brother man, every player in West Indies are currently out of form. When you look at England now, can you say the same?
Chase out of form. Chase it out of form.
form.
Chase it out of form when him coming out of
Chase,
World Cup. Yeah.
Did Chase play the first game? No, he didn't.
You say everybody was out
So
of form. Evan Lewis was in top form coming into this World Cup. Chase was in top form. Ravi Rampal was in. All of the people who got the World Cup minus Gayle was in top form coming into the World Cup. Yeah, I'm probably Lendl. You know,
Andre Russell.
Scratches. You mean Andre Russell?
Russell was not in a top form.
Russell did injured. Russell just come off an injury, but we know what Russell do.
Dimo.
Pooran wasn't in a top form.
What?
What top form was Pooran in?
Dimo.
Pooran was struggling in the last part of the IPL. Pooran was struggling in the last part of the IPL.
Pooran just make a 70 yard for Guyana the other day. What do you mean?
The
just
last
like
part of the IPL, man was struggling, right? And you are probably only one good innings in they have a lot of good innings in the CPL. What are you talking about?
Okay, fine.
He wasn't in the top form. He wasn't in the top
He wasn't in no top form, but him just make a 70
like out of form, but he wasn't in the top form.
Yeah, but you couldn't. He's a wicket keeper. You couldn't leave him.
Yeah. We're not saying leave him out. I'm just arguing with a statement where he said everybody was in top form.
Yes, but I am debunking Levon. I am debunking Levon saying that the people weren't in top form because Lewis was, Rampal was, Mackay was.
I made the point in reference to England. Can you say that West Indies players were in the sort of form that the English players were in? Remember that you're saying that Owen Morgan wasn't making any runs. So I'm saying that England could afford to bring Owen Morgan because the other players in the English setup were all on form. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah, and I'm saying Chris Gayle have to go because of reputation and what he does when he gets to the big stage in a World Cup.
Yeah, so
And then
so
everybody
Dimo,
else perform.
so Dimo, instead of saying people were on top form, it's better you select 1 and 2 people out of the team that were in decent form, because I don't believe anybody at all was in top form. I would say
Whoa. Evan Lewis was one of the
yeah.
best T20
Hold on,
batsmen.
Dimo, hold on,
Top
hold
form.
on. Dimo, relax. Notice what I'm saying, you know. Pick.
Yeah, but
Notice I'm not saying nobody at all was in decent form, you know. So I'm telling you to pick who was in decent form going into the tournament. All right. Yeah, but you say Evan Lewis was in top form.
So Evan Lewis wasn't in top form.
All right, go on. All right.
No. Evan Lewis wasn't in top form coming into this.
You run it. Just pick the decent players.
Exactly.
I would say
Evan Lewis, Robbie Rampal was in top form. Obed McCoy was in top form. You have Hetmeyer, who just leave the IPL as the highest strike rate, leaving the IPL in the whole IPL. A lot of guys were in top form.
Who else? No, don't say a lot of guys.
That's
continue
4
the
people.
list. Yeah, continue the list. Don't say a lot of guys.
Akil well, he never met the 15, like I say. He was in top form bowling well, right? And you can go through the rest of the list and call the name then. Probably only Chase was in top form coming into the IPL. And if you give me the lineup, I can go through and tell you. It's probably
but you always know the lineup. You give the team, so how all of a sudden you forget the names now?
It's probably easier for me to tell you who wasn't in top form going into the World Cup.
All right, do that then.
Yeah, and that's Chris Gayle, Hayden Walsh Jr. He had a rough time in the CPL, but he was excellent in the series before, but the CPL kind of bring him down. So Hayden Walsh and
Simmons,
Gayle and Simmons. That's 3 guys. GS Holder struggle a bit in the CPL too, and that's why.
So you're saying that majority of the team was in decent or top form.
Yeah, and Russell was injured coming back.
So how is it that we are arguably the worst team at the tournament?
Because the man them not execute on the day. That's just how it goes.
In every game?
Which every game will beat Bangladesh.
Bangladesh is not a team right now.
What do you mean they're not a team right now? What are they?
Right now, Namibia could beat Bangladesh.
Boss, so if you're not going to joke out the podcast, tell me, man, I will get to talk serious.
Joke? But it's not a joke, Dimo.
Like for me, as you see in my thing, I'm very disappointed that we're Levon are going to move forward. But I just want to say this before Levon continue. The thing with me right now, the think tank for West Indies just really a mess up everything. Them a mess up everything. Them come out and them tell us that they're taking O'Shane Thomas because of his raw pace and he's the X factor. Yeah? He's the X factor, you know, so them put him in at the 11. When they know, say the man never ever play no important games, but yet still them left out Akil Hussain out of 11. You know, say the man never ever play any games. Why you put him in at the 11 at the first place and I talk about X factor, but then you're not going to use him? That makes no sense. Yeah, so you use Akil Hussain from the first or GS holder, and I make O'Shane Thomas stay in the reserve.
But, all right, but let's have 2 things more mentioned before we allow you to go on. So Dimo, I was watching when John Campbell was on, right? But I was listening to the aspect of the fitness thing, the fitness test, but I didn't get like the criteria for the exemption and the limitations for the exemption. Sorry, I didn't get the criteria for the exemptions. Like, say,
yeah. So Chris Gayle, Raheem Cornwell.
Yeah, I know they get
medical exemptions, and I think you have one with to do with some other stuff.
So once a guy like a Smith would do it and fail it, there's no way they can make an exemption for him.
No, unless he's medically ill. No.
You need to have a medical.
The man
a
at 24, and that's why I don't feel sorry for them, brother. The man is from young, you know, if you
I
feel.
just wanted to get that right. I just wanted to
No,
get
but for me, I'm more upset with them, brother. You can't be 20 and I feel fitness test where you have to do run up this so and go to the corner at a certain time and do this. No, bro. You
my
can't feel them. So,
So Demo,
Right.
what I'm trying to get from you, based on your emotions on the show right now, right, and your facial expressions, is as if you are more upset with the people that did not get a chance to go to the World Cup because they didn't meet the criteria,
yes, I'm very upset.
versus the actual players that went out and should have actually done something or performed creditably well.
No, I'm disappointed in both.
Yeah,
Alright.
no. I never say you're not disappointed in both, you know. But it seems as though you're more disappointed in those that did not go.
Well, for me, Rutherford personally and Smith personally, yeah, I'm disappointed with them because I think that they would have been a major asset for the West Indies team in this. And remember, like I said last night, we can beat the West Indies all we want, but they suffered two major setbacks in Fabian Allen and Obed McCoy in this tournament, and those are massive blows to them.
All right,
Going
Demo,
into the
go back to your top form argument, right? 'Cause I understand what you're saying about top form. I'm not gonna debate them because some of those guys were actually in top form. But everything in life is relative, right? And then
yeah.
when you compare those our guys that were in top form to the other players from the big teams and how they were playing on these teams have been, you think our guys in their top form, right?
Mm.
Could have really competed and beat those other big teams?
You must be joking. Of course.
Remember,
Just,
even though CPL is good now, CPL is not up to the standard up like an IPL. You know?
Tell him
yeah,
again.
that's fine. That's
Tell him
fine.
You know what I'm
again.
saying? So some of these guys who are performing in CPL, honestly, the
Yeah, but
as I as say a guy
That's why,
performing
but that's why, but
oh,
Devin, but that's why I was using the word decent form, right? Versus top
so even
form.
though I agree with you with Ravi Rampal being in the team, and I would not bash Rampal for not being in there because you know he was like leading wicket taker tournament, but
yeah.
you wouldn't expect Ravi to set the light on fire compared to like other type of players that are out there.
Okay. So you see, this is how me can reason. Zin, on the day, it is up for you to perform. Now, Chakravarti was one of the leading wicket takers in the IPL. I know him can't get an appeal for India. Was he in top form coming into the IPL? That's why they not play Ashton, you know. Because they might use. I know him can't get an appeal. And you can't say him never in a top form coming into the tournament. It happens. It happens.
Yes, I'm agreeing. But I'm saying,
Up until the other day, Rabada couldn't get an appeal.
right,
And Rabada just started taking wickets now.
right. But what I'm saying, when you look at the players from like India, New Zealand, and Australia, all those other big teams, right? And those players are in top form compared to West Indies players that were in top form. You
Yeah.
think West Indies could have beat those teams?
Yes. Because we just slapped up Australia in the Caribbean quite comfortably. Slapped them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they were missing David Warner and a couple of the big guns, but David Warner not set the world alight either right now. Yeah. And we'll play a very competitive game against T20
Listen,
series
the bowling was weak though.
against Sri Lanka, even though they beat us. Yeah. But we look more potent against Sri Lanka than we did today. And I don't know what happened. I thought we were going to be able to compete. But Levan, sorry for take over. Go on.
I'm done. We can move on.
All right, so before I move on, yes, Chris Lynn saying that was very selfish of Pollard and Gale to be telling us he meant a lot to the team when he could not make his feet size in runs.
Oh my gosh, bro. Pollard at the next, brother. Anyway.
But we look at the bowling already. Now it's time to look at the batting. So yeah, 189. Cool. Dima said last night that like a man like Asaranga, once you allow him to settle in, Asaranga is going to cause the damage. But once you upset him, you can leak him for runs the right shot, as proven with it's a guy named from Afghanistan again, man. Rashid Khan. Right? Rashid Khan to me is a more mystery bowler than Asaranga. And I like both of them, but Rashid Khan is a bigger player. I saw the Indians throw him off his line and length, and guess what? That messed up his psyche. No, West Indies were there blocking, 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 blocking. I was like, why? What sense? But I'm not going to get there. The first mistake they made was in the power play. There's no way you don't maximize on the power play. All right, Chris Gill get out. Cool. Evan Lewis, he took what? 2 boundaries after that over before he got out, right? He already took two boundaries. Why play a hard shot? Because he went at the ball hard somewhat, got bowled off the inside edge. Cool. Bypass all of that. I see people blaming Rastanche, saying that Rastanche was stupid for going again for a boundary, but did people actually notice that he played after a ball and I think it went straight to a fielder and then Puran walked on the wicket and talked to him? The following delivery, he went after it and he caught the inside edge and it went down to the boundary. So I personally think that Puran probably told him that, hey, there's a lot of runs on the board now, so we need to go. That's just my thinking. Because if you notice that he was trying to just knock the ball around and try to get the ones that to put Puran on strike, because Puran, he started off good. But then he started to mistime the ball and Puran wasted a lot of deliveries, if you look at it keenly. Right up at the top part, because he was like on what? 24 of like around 8 or thereabouts, and then that reached 24 of 14. So he faced like 6 that deliveries back to back to back. But the first problem that I have with this team is that when you look at how they go about chasing runs or even setting targets, they don't pace their innings well, right? As proven in this tournament, and I saw Demo spoke about it on the Facebook page the other day, that if you look at just Butler innings, right, you notice that he started out very slowly. So it's based on how these wickets play slow, it's best if you take your time to get acclimatized to the condition, bat yourself in, and then you know that you have the power hitting already, so you can back yourself right through it, as just Butler did, to make it up back up down the end, right? As I said, you can play probably at, if not wrong, if you're on a like say 20 off like 29 balls, because you can make that up. But these guys seem like, as we become accustomed with West Indies, whenever they're chasing big totals, it's just guns all out from ball one. And that was the first mistake in chasing that total. Devin, do you agree or disagree?
Honestly, I just think even though we have to play what we have, I think we should just evolve as a team in terms of whether we're chasing or we're batting. This heavy reliance on the boundaries, boy. Like, I mean, we're past that now. Like that's not working for us consistent. You know what I'm saying? So in between that, Ian Bishop consistently talk about it, but just by me playing cricket and knowing that, okay, you turn the strike over, you get some confidence, and then if you get 5 singles, you get even the last ball, that's 4. That 5 on 4, that's 9. Even if you start off with a 6 or a 4, and you get 1s and 2 in between that, I don't think we have that mindset. You know what I'm saying? There was one time when during the training within the home series against those teams, I think the captain had come out and said, oh, yes, we're working and getting some 1s and 2s in their practice sections. Yeah, so I said, okay, that sounds good. Like, the man might think the thing, like they're thinking smart, trying to go with like a strategic.
But Devin, I know that they defeated that though, because remember that Puran came out and said that they're a boundary hitting team.
Yes,
and they're not going to change. So they defeated what they said.
I said that. So I still like to see, like, whether we're chasing or even setting a target, we try to get some 1s and 2s, and then you pick up the boundaries or keep the strike over instead of having like like a dot ball, even like a 2 that's 3 that's. So we just have to evolve in terms of that. Or if we're gonna go back to like being a big boundary team, we're gonna get some different players. Gale will go. Simmons will not be again. Fletcher won't be a part of the setup. Is Russell going to still be a part of the setup? Are we going to get the players who can actually, all right, say we're going to stick to that philosophy of being a boundary hitting team then? So whether they stick to that philosophy of being a boundary hitting team, stick with it and get the players who can do that then. Or you're going to evolve to say, all right, we're going to try and pierce our innings, take some 1s and 2s like what Josh Butler did his inning. You know what I mean? So we have to stick to a particular philosophy of how we're going to make these runs, whether we're chasing it or we're setting a target. You just have to stick to a philosophy. Yeah. Like y'all talk about identity in football. Right. We want to see your team having a certain identity. We have to have a particular identity. For the last 2 World Cups that we win, we were a big boundary hitting team, and that worked for us, as well as we had good bowlers. We had real good bowlers in Badger and Narayan. So we have to have a philosophy going forward.
Okay. All right, Demo. I'm going to put a question to you, Demo, because as you can notice now, these squares were long on both sides if you look at it keenly. Because multiple occasions, especially when Sri Lanka started off the innings, you notice that they knocked the ball out to the longer side and they took towards and threes. No, with that in mind, as Devin just pointed out, why is it that West Indies couldn't have the same mindset that, all right, we get a boundary of the first delivery. Why can't we just knock around the rest of the over for ones and twos? Because, I mean, if you do that, there's a high possibility that you're going to end up with probably 9 runs from the over or 10. So, since as these squares were long, why they didn't actually try to do that?
Yeah, so the thing is, I mean, actually, one side of the ground was short. One side was 68, and the rest of it was like 73, 75 plus on the other side. And so that's why Hitmyer there drag him shots to the shorter side instead of going over long off. But anyway, the thing is, I don't think that they're not trying to get singles in. Because if you watch Chase keenly, the man just find the feelers every time. He might try pierce the gap and just let the ball straight to the feelers. So finding gaps in cricket is not just something we can just get up and say I go do. I mean, for professionals like them, they should be able to do it, but I don't think that they practice it enough. And it's very hard for them to find the gaps in the field. Them hit the ball straight to the fielder and them can't get the singles. Because I see them trying a lot of times, but they just can't do it. I remember there was this one over when Puran there got all guns blazing. I think him get like 16, and then 2 last ball them was a dot ball. I mean, like, bro, just touch the ball now. The field spread wide open. Just touch the ball into the gap and run one. The last 3? Yeah, one of them. I mean, like, what?
Yeah, he took boundaries of the first 3 and the last 3, it was 3 dots.
Yeah, just touch the ball now and run one and rotate the strike. I mean, him play and him miss, him play and him. And I mean, obviously, I have to give credit to the bowling sometimes, because a lot of times we say, oh, them for just do this. But some of the time, the bowling was good, and it's hard for them to do it. So I think that they're trying, but they're just not technical enough to get it. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay. Sheikh, so you see this going? Because, I mean, in cricket, no matter if you're a boundary hitting team, singles are just as important because you have to rotate strike. Because it's, as Dima just said, sometimes you have to give credit to bowlers. It's not every bowler that is going to bowl that you can hit for a boundary. The only player that we've seen throughout our lifetime really that took Malinga, a bowler like Malinga apart, was Marlon Samuels, right? So I mean, if Malinga is going to bowl a 6 Yorkers in over, are you going to tell me that you're going to try to strike all those deliveries for boundaries, or you're going to try to knock it out, dig it out, and try get ones and twos? Why is it that so much emphasis is placed on boundaries rather than if I get a bad ball, put it away? And I mean, sometimes you can get a good ball and go for a boundary too, because sometimes a bowler a good delivery, but because of all the intricacies that surround the batting and all of that, they might get a boundary of it. So why is it that more emphasis isn't placed on getting singles from this particular team?
All right. A little bit on what Devin said, because he mentioned the bowlers, right? T20 has evolved to the point where a T20 game for most of these top teams, the captain employs bowlers for different phases. And based on what is going on in a game, they make in-game substitutions, as we would call it in football. And instead of all of a sudden, you see them switching up a bowler. You're like, oh, but why am I taking up that bowler? Right? It's just to give the batsman or the batsmen something else to work with.
I'm sorry, Sheiks. You need to say batters.
Batters. Oh, batters. Give the batters something else, something different, right? To work with, something else to go at. Now, the question that you ask, West Indies, they have not evolved. You ask, why is it that we can't concentrate or have enough discipline to get ones and twos and threes? Remember, we're playing on the same pitches and we are playing at the same grounds as all these other teams, and we see them making runs, right? And we don't see them hitting. I think the six total is probably at about 270 something right now for the tournament. That's not really a lot. That's not a lot for a T20 World Cup or T20 tournament. So it's obvious that outside of West Indies, the other teams, for those who have made significant runs, and many of the games they have made significant runs, they are able to take ones and twos, but it's because they have the technical ability to do just that. One, they have the concentration to do that, and the discipline, three, to do it. West Indies, they have none of the above, none whatsoever. And listen, Demo can't even disagree with that point, right? That this West Indies current setup, they just lack all of those three things, right? So I don't know if you're going to talk about Pollard, if you're going to talk about Gale, but it doesn't make sense talking about Gale. Let's talk about Pollard. Let's talk about Russell, right? Let's talk about Puran and Hetmeyer. I don't want a man.
Stick up in those shakes.
Those two have the technical ability, though. Puran and Hetmeyer.
All right.
Shakes,
I know why I
you just
called
make a point, though, right? I'm saying, Shakes, you just make a point, right? We're saying that a lot of these teams, in terms of boundary hitting, they don't have that much. All right, look at Pakistan, right? Babar Azam made 70 runs off 49 deliveries. Out of that 70 runs, 28 of it was boundaries, and that was 7 fours, no sixes at all. So if you minus that, look at it now. Yeah. 40 of that runs came via singles, twos, and threes. So just take that in consideration.
I know you want to come at me just because I mentioned Hetmeyer and Puran, right? But listen, for me, it's we always talk about consistency in sports. Puran has not been consistent for the tournament. Neither has Hetmeyer. They haven't been consistent. Hetmeyer show up today when what? When we're already losing the game. When I tell you that, listen, the bags are already in the cargo bay. It's like back against the wall, you know. We're listen, you know what? Let's go guns blazing. Let's go out in a trail of glory. Right? That's what he was trying to do. Salvage something. But listen, people don't do that at the end of the tournament when you know so you're gone home. Why not give me a decent 40, right? In the first game. Or give me a decent 30. Why not give me a nice 50 in the second game? When you know that, all right, this is where you need to concentrate and show some discipline. Even from that first game that we played against England. All right, wicket stumbling. My God, just try bat out the 20 overs.
Yeah, but
right?
I understand what you're saying, but you and I probably arguing two different things. What I'm saying with Hetmeyer and Puran look into the future. Yeah. They may not have the concentration or the discipline, but I think they have some technical ability to take those.
Yeah, they have. All right. You say they have some. I won't disagree. They have a little, right? Because, and why I say they have a little is because even though they might be able to get a single or run a two, their main aim at the end of the day is still to hit a boundary.
So it's not about the technical ability. They have the technical ability to do it, but it's just not the discipline. It's just like you mentioned, those three things. But so they can do it. So it's not like someone like
Devin. The more ability.
And get a ones and two. You know, if he's just looking for the big shot, and once he connect, if it doesn't connect good, it's because of his sheer power. He gonna seal over the boundary.
Remember what I said. You know, these teams, Devin. They are so strategic in terms of how the top teams are talking about now, in terms of how they play, right? So if you just pick a random team, a random top team to come and play against the West Indies, listen, you might get one bowler bowling today in the power play, but guess what? In the second game, you ain't gonna see that bowler. You're going to wonder where he is, but then realize that, oh, that bowler is actually on the field. Because guess what? They are always going to change up to suit the game that is taking place on the field. Now, West Indies players, they don't use the mental side and say, all right, you know what? Let us make, all right, the ultimate aim is to probably make 70 runs, 80 runs at the end of the day individually, right? Because they have the ability. I'm not going to disagree. They have the ability. But at the end of the day, the discipline, the level of concentration, the technical skills to keep on doing that repeatedly over after over after over, or bowler after bowler after bowler. They don't possess that, and that is the problem.
That's not a technical skill, Shakes. That's a discipline, brother.
It is discipline and technical skills, because
All right.
they can only do it for 1 or 2 balls, not 6 balls. Listen, it's like a bowler asking a bowler to put the ball on the same spot or a similar spot for 6 deliveries. Right? That is technical skills, you know, to be able to do something over and over and over.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, Shakes mentioned say we can look at top teams right now. The minnows are doing this thing to Scotland. Them get 1s and 2s, and them do all of them. So like you see them game against New Zealand the other day. All the smaller teams that do it. Like me not understand where West Indies are wait for no so them for rotate the strike. And not just top teams and do this. I'm just want to say Levan before we move on. For me, everybody know I'm a big Kieran Pollard advocate. But the man captaincy today was so insane. Like I just don't understand what I do today. In field settings, in field placements, when them a bowl, the bowling changes them we make. It was so ridiculous. Like Chase bowl first over the game. And the man up touch back the ball for the whole game. And him first over go for 6. And one left under their bat. Like me not understand what Pollard did today. You know? I don't like the man just out of it, bro. I Pollard Puranch the captain this side. But
Dima, we can talk about Pollard, you know.
No man, live on.
No man, I so touch on that, but listen. I remember last night Dima on your Canada. Shakes made a comment in the comment section. I'm not sure if you actually saw it, but Shake said that Chris Gayle is either going to make 1 or 75 in the game today, because he just thought that he had 1 good innings, so he's either going to go out on a bang or he's going to just go and he's going to get out for 1. So he was proven right that Gayle only went for 1. But separate apart, because we're not going to go down that Chris Gayle argument again, because personally for me, as I said, shouldn't they World Cup all of that. So we're not going to repeat the same thing. Pollard, no. As you pointed out, now, this is a man that I had time for when it comes on to regional cricket in terms of CPL and his captaincy, because he's one of the most proactive captains I have seen in Caribbean Premier League. But when you put him into West Indies international duty, especially this T20 World Cup, you have to be scratching it and say, I know this man missing a CPL. Because the current Pollard that I know from CPL, that man is going to have a slip, a leg slip, I'm on a short leg. That is the type of captain I see in CPL. Throughout this T20 World Cup, I don't see none of those things. And one thing that you could count on him also in CPL with is his bowling changes. He always makes some good bowling changes at times when teams are trying to get away. No, throughout this entirety of the World Cup, I don't see any of that. And as Dismal said, I don't know if we are being premature now, because sometimes we just have to test the water sometimes to see how them actually acclimatize to the condition and see how they deal with it, you know. But Nicholas Purran has proven to be decent, and he's at the age of 26, so I mean, good age to become a captain. But then the problem that lies with it is that Nicholas Purran lacks consistency with his batting, and you don't want your captain to be like that. For instance, look at a Virat Kohli right now. Virat Kohli, he actually realized there's a problem. Being the captain of the India cricket team and also the Royal Challengers Bangalore, that has kind of taken away from him focusing on his batting. You notice what he's going to do is giving up the captaincy of all of that. So I'm of the opinion that could it be a case of probably premature that they're going to give him the captaincy and we should just continue Pollard for a bit, or you think that he's actually ready to take up the captaincy? Starting with you this time, Shakes.
Oh, boy. Michelle made a comment in the section there talking about Pollard being injured, and I will not lie. I am 110% in agreement with her because I never expected him to play this game based on what transpired in the last game. So I thought that, okay, it would just be too quick a turnaround for him to start this game. But for me, Tyron Pollard has never done well for West Indies, full stop. Never, never. His World Cup average is 12. 12. He does well for Mumbai. He does well when he plays CPL. But his West Indies thing, average is 12. 12. 12? Just think about that.
Sounds like Andre
12,
Russell.
right? 12. So you literally just have him in the team to be the captain. All right. This tournament, I don't see how we would sit down and do proper analysis and make an assessment, evaluate him, and not say, boss, maybe this is too much for you. You need a little break, right? Because just watching the previous game with Puran and how he was talking on the field, trying to motivate the players. Yes, it was Bangladesh, but at least he was trying, right? As Dimo said, he really didn't understand what Pollard was doing in this game today. I never even see him motivating the man them, right? That wasn't there. And really and truly, that is what Pollard is known for when it comes down to the West Indies setup. Now, if you're not going to get that in the West Indies setup, then you have to try to move to the next best thing. And that next best thing might just be Puran. I know that people might say, yeah, he's not consistent, but guess what? He's your best T20 wicket keeper. So guess what? You just have to stick with him. And if he can...
All right, so Shakes has chipped out for a bit.
Yeah.
But Demo, pick up on it, Demo. Do you think that you should get the captaincy right now?
Yeah, so for me, I was just talking about this game. I don't think we should take the captaincy away from him. The thing is, Puran, he has won. He won the series for Australia. So most of the series for Australia, I think he captained the team. I think he's only lost one game since he's been captain. So you can check out him in percentage as captain so far for the West Indies team. And it seems like, I mean, he gets a lot of help from the senior players when he's captain as well, and everybody respect him. He's a lot more vocal. But today, I don't know. Pollard, him just somebody saying in the comments that the pressure get to him, but Pollard is not the type of player to make pressure get to him. Pollard is a world class player. Well, from Mumbai. He's a world class player, and he's proven himself all over the world in different T20 franchises. And that man doesn't strike me as a type to be overcome by pressure at all. So I don't want to say the pressure got to him. I think that he just didn't know what to do, and him just make a lot of mistakes today. So it's just for today. I wanted him not to be the captain. But going forward, especially seeing that the World Cup is coming up so soon again, yeah, I'll have Pollard captain.
Okay. Devin, what say you?
No, like you were saying about his captaincy is good in the CPL, and he when he captains of Mumbai, good captain, attacking captain, and he seemed to motivate the players. But then I don't know, so he just had a bad day, or overall. I'm talking about his batting average, but as a captain, I would like to see him try and do more changes, try to be more innovative during this World Cup. And going forward, definitely, I'll stick with him. I'll make some changes for the team. Some of those players will definitely be out, right? But going forward, the World Cup is just next year. I don't want to keep repeating the same point. Stick with him. Let Puran be there and focus on the keeping and the batting. I think we'll get more out of him. You get what I'm saying for next World Cup coming? And then see if we can get the selection better and see what we can do in terms of our philosophy, how we're going to go about batting going in the next World Cup. And like some of the times we would put it, I don't see like during the series, I don't see like he was consulting anybody or even talking to anybody like, oh, he would normally do, like, even with Bravo. It just feel like he's just out of it. I don't know. I remember this long time when I used to watch cricket. Like even my mother, I tell you, my mother's a big cricket fan. Tell me about this story. And then she was saying one time West Indies with Clive Lloyd, they were playing against England, right? couldn't get out some batsman. And Clive Lodge come out and tell his story, and he just call in the guys, one of the guys, players, them say, what you want, boss? What does the captain say? Nothing. But I have nothing to say to them. I just want to talk to them and make them think, so I come up with a strategy. You know, make the batsman get nervous. We don't really have no strategy or nothing. We just like, we can't get the money more. We just gather and see what we can do. Next ball, the man them think he will come up with a great strategy. The man out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Next ball, the man get out. Because they were thinking that, you know, they were come up with something against with these bowlers. So, like, just by consulting somebody and the player, talking to these players or trying to come up with something, what they think, I don't know. I don't think he was involved with the players. He was just out of it. He just seemed out of it. I don't know.
All right, so we know that a lot of these players has moved on, so it's no time for move on with West Indies. So we'll look at the team, right? And I think a player that I would love for him to actually do good in T20, because I think he could be the missing piece as to what we're lacking T20. But boy, it just seems like his headspace is all over the place. And I'm talking about what can we say we should call him? Is Shy Hope or Shay Hope? Which one?
She.
All right, so Shay Hope, right? I think he'll be a great asset to West Indies T20 team. Reason being, the same role that Babar Azam plays for Pakistan, I think Shay Hope could be that player for West Indies, where you know that he's going to knock around and get the ones and twos. He's quick between the wickets, so he, along with Evan Lewis, could be a very good dynamic duo up at the top. And remember, they already have a relationship in the one day already, so you could bring that over into the T20 structure, since as you know that these players are going to move on, so you're going to need younger players. And I mean, he's at what, 28 now, so perfect age for him to come into the team. And both of them together could form a good partnership going forward, because we're starting out the team now, so you have those two already. Behind them, you know that you're going to have
Big point.
Buran and Hetmeyer. And then you look again, and further down, you're going to see a man like Rutherford, because I think he has a lot to offer to this team. But after that, you start scratching your head now and asking yourself, where are the other talents coming through right now? That's the issue now, you know. Because in the middle order, that is where we're going to struggle, because you look in the even the CPL when we saw it, they never really saw anyone really making a name for themselves, pushing through. No guys under the age of 30 thereabouts. People saying Fabian is going to be a big hitter. That man is not going to stabilize in the middle order. It's going to be a big hitter, and that's it. Dominic Drake is the next one that is going to come down and is going to do big hitting as well. But I'm talking about players that can come into the middle and stabilize it if something should happen at the top and those guys don't fire. So in that aspect, Dimo, do you see anyone that can come through?
Yeah, but I think that's the name you called. Shafian Rutherford is that guy who will come at 5 and steady the ship. Because if you use Hope, Lewis, then Hetmeyer, Puran, that's 4. And Rutherford would be that guy. I think he came in the middle order and solidified it for St. Kitts. He bats well, he rotates to strike well, and he paces his innings well. I think he's the guy to do that. I mean, I know you never mentioned earlier, but I think Hemraj might. I don't know how old Hemraj is right now, but obviously he's putting up his hand to come in the team as an opener. Iman Kenar Lewis, just to squad depth, and some of the bowlers, you know, Moti. I think he's a good spinner, should come into the team as well. I think we have talents coming through, man. We have talents coming through.
All right, so Shandapa Emerge is actually 28.
28, yeah, him probably kind of, I don't know. Him probably are going to miss the boat, but you know, he might put up him bad.
Devin, on your side now, we're looking at guys that can actually replace some of these guys now. Because for me personally, Andre Russell has never done well in a West Indies shirt. Never. That man don't perform when it comes down to West Indies. So going forward, and you know that this man has a history of injuries. That man can stay fit to save him life. And through the entirety of this tournament, yeah, he might bowl a 1 and 2 good over, and that's about it. But he has an injury issue, and that is something that he can't get over. Now, with that in mind, you're going to need a replacement for him. For DJ Bravo, you know, I already have a replacement, because I think Dominic Drakes, take the cap from him already. Drakes is my pick to replace Dwayne Bravo. Right?
What?
I have a lot of time for this guy. And the reason I have a lot of time for Dominic Drakes is because Dwayne Bravo is one of those players that is actually mentoring him. I mean, Obed Mackay is already in that team, you know. Put that aside. Mackay is already there. But as for you now, Devin, who you see coming into this team?
All right, so I want to start with the bowling then. All right, so if you look at the bowling, we don't necessarily have to try to get a Bravo and like an all rounder. You know? We can try to see if we can find like a four bowler or three good bowler. Then you have all rounder. We don't have to try stack the team with these all rounder. So even though I wanted and that's straight from the point, I wanted Ola to be in the first 11. There were good reasons for him not to be in there because you're saying you have all these all rounders already.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Even though I disagree, but you can knock those people who are going against that. What if you get what I'm saying? They still have it's a
Yeah.
argument as well.
Yeah.
So put that aside now. Audience Smith can come in, right?
And him can bat too.
And him can back in. So then what have
And Jaden Seals the next guy you could probably look at.
yeah, and then Allen will come back and Allen can bat. We have Ossian still. Get what I'm saying? And then Older is still there. Older. I'm not leaving out Older at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Shepherd.
Right. Then we say Shepherd. Right? So within the ball in there, so yeah, there are people right there. Now for the batting now, I definitely agree. A lot of people disagree and love talk about Hope. I'm a Hope fan. I'm not gonna lie. I like Hope. Even when he's making all these ducks and all these things, I just want him to come good.
Yes. So like manager Raja.
No, and I like Hope in white ball cricket too, man. I just the red ball team.
Like,
the red ball team now.
And remember we didn't say Mackay to coming back to, So the ball in there is short. So I like the idea with him up top. Eti, and then you have Poor and you have Rutherford, right? So I don't know if we can sneak in one more batsman or with the team full already, but at least 5 to 6 batsmen.
No, the side will give in a Devin.
Yeah.
Levon say Hope, and I agree completely. Him and Evan Lewis already have a partnership. 1-2.
And them two that can run the singles them. Yeah.
Exactly. Poor and Hitmaya, you rotate them with 3 and 4.
4, yes.
And then Rutherford come 5.
5. We still are gonna use Pollard as captain at 6.
No, well, we're talking about for the next World Cup.
Where's your throat?
I think I will not pass Pollard. We're talking about, we don't know.
Yeah.
But then I think
Pass
the GSO holder would have come in now, and
right.
I think he can bat 6. And then you have the Russell replacement, which are Odin Smith, because he can bat. Shepherd. You have Hussein. That's 9.
Fabian Allen.
Fabian Allen, yeah. So that's 10 people. And then Jaden Seals. You have Motive for coming. I think we have a lot of talent coming through can fill up this team. And I will now mention some.
We do have a team.
We'll leave out people like Neil Smith, who is doing well. I think he's an excellent bowler. I think he's going to do well.
Like him.
Yeah, man, he's quick and him have something about him, man. And we have other players. Ashmead Ned, somebody mentioned in the comments. We have players coming through, man.
And even Kevin Sinclair. We are leaving out him as well.
Yo, boss, I don't rate Sinclair, though, but we have Kevin Sinclair. I mean, he's an average bowler to me, but hey, we see how it go. Yeah.
And then Azari just fall off like that. So
They do have a team, man.
Azari have to come back to the drawing board again.
Yeah. But I don't rate Azari, but we see.
I agree. But in terms of the other teams now, because we're just going to move past West Indies for a little bit. Other teams that are kind of hitting up a little bit of storm, Devin kind of feel happy now. The Aussies finding their good nick. Adam Zampa took a 5 and he was kind of disappointed because, come on, Matthew, that's a hat-trick ball, man. Come on, take the man catch. Give the man a hat-trick just like Asaranga. Come on. So he got a 5 for Devin. I think of the Australian team because I said, no, they're looking good right now in a boss.
Right, I'll go back to the Guru, Guru make me feel small, yeah, I can't forget about that. I told me to the man laugh at me, when me say like Australia, even though, with one of his arguments, they're saying they may not, in T20, they don't have a history to be considered a tournament side. Yeah, I may take a 1 beating on that, because I say I like them because of them being a tournament side, a tournament overall probably for 1 day, you know what I mean? But yeah, I can take a beating on that to say if to say that okay, they don't have enough history, even though they just make it to a final and didn't win. To be
Not enough. They don't have any. They don't have any. They
all right.
never won it before.
I can take a one small beating on that, right, Levon? But I like the I always like Australian team, you know, because like they are proper cricketers. You know, they don't try to have these bits and pieces player. They have good bowlers and like what your manager name again? Demo, your manager when he came up.
Roger.
Yeah, he was a Roger. Respect to him.
This hold on a second, man. This is his comment on the screen. I don't want to guys
Roger,
to actually think it's anyone else. This is Roger Treacy comment saying that yes,
Yeah,
needs to be the T20 side.
Right. Yeah. So,
that man will kill for
and he was agreeing with me like what I said when I choose them, they have proper bowlers and they have good batsmen. And all these bits and pieces like we try to get with West Indies, we try to get all right. We'll see if we can get a bowler, but can he bat? You get what I'm saying? You might have them good bowler and them have them good batsmen. So Australia definitely. Remember I said Australia and England from that side, and then I was worried about my other pick, New Zealand, right? And we're gonna get it done because that game coming up again against Afghanistan. I have to watch every delivery because Demo pick is for Afghan, and then Demo would look like the greatest cricketing mind in the world if Afghanistan go ahead against New Zealand. So that game is gonna be a big game because New Zealand gonna bust up I think Scotland them have next or not, no Namibia. Gonna bust them up.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that game against Afghanistan. So it will make, you know, I'm not trying to glorify the guru status. I'll be second in command to the guru.
But
right? You can't take him guru status. So when my four predictions come through, I can say, all right, if the guru is not around, I am the guru. Refer to me as the guru.
all right, so maybe just curious.
If the guru is not around.
What are the
Go ahead, man. Because
making predictions doesn't make one guru or not guru, boss.
We talk about that already too.
Yeah, man. Predictions are predictions. Them happen on the day. Whoever win. I just say it go.
Yeah, and we can.
We analyze the thing. Make your guru. You know.
Yeah, but then and finally with New Zealand. So I remember when I used to watch them. The reason why I like them because the way they evolve. They have the good bowlers and they have the good batsmen. Because I remember before the T20, when Lara used to play them, when they have guys like Cut Styris and they used to have some little bits and that was always New Zealand.
Yeah.
And they never have the out and out pace ball. Like Cut Styris, they will come up and bowl. It's like they bowl a 9 line and length.
And Jacob Oram them.
Jacob Oram right, and them guys. Yeah. But nowadays, though, them get them.
Yeah, but they also had Shane Bond. Which was a
Right, yeah, when you look at them now, they have like some good. They
have a complete team.
Ferguson. I think he withdrew from the World Cup.
He got injured.
Yeah. That guy mashed up West Indies in a game when we were down here. Yeah. So, and you still have your Trent boat, you still have the old veteran Southie. So I like them because they have them good bowlers and them have them batsmen out there. Not there's bits and pieces.
And guess what, Devin?
Yeah.
They also have youngsters coming through, even though you're not really consider him a youngster since he has been on the scene for a while. But you have Lucky Ferguson, who was unlucky to not be at the tournament because
I just mentioned him. Ferguson.
Bowler.
I remember.
And also Kyle Jameson. Jameson is a very good one as well.
Yeah, that series that when we went down there in New Zealand, right? And we were, I think it was Fletcher and somebody else get off on him and we were making a lot of runs. We were like going up almost 12 runs over. And Lucky Ferguson just come with 1 over. Boop, boop, boop. You know, real sheer pace. So that's why I like those teams. It's not, you know, I like those teams. And then I said finally already, I'm going to say finally again. This whole team about these teams from the UAE are down from the Middle East, so to speak. You know, I have an advantage playing against these pitches. I think that's an overrated concept to say, all right, all of these teams, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, and all of them, they're just going to do better because they are down there. No, that's an overrated concept. The other team of them big players who are professional, who play in the IPL, who play in Dubai, who play all around in all these leagues too. So they are accustomed to these pitches too. The guru talking.
Yeah. But here's Pepe Paul saying that you notice the test batters are doing well so far. Couple commentators make mention of it. They're saying that the three format players are doing well in the T20 World Cup. So the players that are playing Test cricket, is it because they have that temperament to negate whatever there is in Test cricket? When it comes down to these pitches in the UAE, you know that they have to bat themselves in. That's basically what they have to do. I mean, you might have innings where people just come in and just knock it from ball one, as Mohamed Nabi has done for Afghanistan at times this tournament, and a couple of other guys like Hardik Pandey and Rishabh Pant did for India yesterday. But most of these guys that knows how to play Test cricket, they are the ones that are tend to be shining. And yeah, we can agree on that. But Demo, to add to Devin point, you look at Pakistan. Pakistan is just the same like Australia and New Zealand. They have good batters, they have good spinners, and they also have good pace bowlers. So the teams that has that balance, those are the teams that are doing well in the tournament. It's not teams with bits and parts players that are actually doing well. So he has a solid argument there. But which team has impressed you? I mean, Namibia looks good still now, even though they're not going to qualify. But I like what I've seen from them, and they have a young team as well. Otherwise, some old man David Weser, but it's a good team coming through.
So, which team has impressed me the most this tournament? I mean, it has to be Pakistan and England. The all-round game, batting, bowling, and their fielding. I am so shocked Pakistan are feeling so well. But England, jeez, man, these guys are next level. Like, I was watching England feel. I'm gonna say I just want to spend one day. Me personally, want to spend one day training with them when they are feel. They're just so professional in everything that they do. Even if the match already won, you see them a chase down the ball and them a slide and a relay. If you remember that relay catch with Jason Roy the other day with, oh my gosh, the feeling has been superb for England. And for me, I know everybody raves about batting and bowling. Sure, that's fine. But for me, I love fielding teams who excel in the fielding department. And them and New Zealand, I mean, they've been top notch. So if me for pick between Pakistan and England right now, I'm gonna go with England just because of the fielding department. And I mean, how Moeen Ali stepped up with the new ball, bowling well up front, bowling his half breaks, and Owen Morgan as a captain. I mean, you can't write him off. Like he made the right bowling changes. Everything him touch turn to goal. Sometimes him set a straight mid half and him feeling positions just unorthodox. Sometimes him just know what to do. And yeah, England just looks ominous right now. Them look like them unstoppable.
All right. You mentioned New Zealand. Boss, did you saw that catch that Devon Conway took on the boundary that day other day when it was like basically flying across
Yes,
the turf?
yes,
Yo, they
man.
spoke about it. They were saying that it was one of the best catches at the tournament and it
Yeah,
go,
yeah.
go ahead.
It definitely was. I mean, barring West Indies, and probably I was going to say Sri Lanka, but Sri Lanka feeling excellently today. Barring West Indies, boss, the feeling has been top notch this World Cup, even from the lower nations. So I don't know. West Indies, them just seem for no Fabian Allen. You see Eden Walsh drop two, catching a one match. Like West Indies just come and just mess up the whole thing. But I mean, the feeling has been excellent, man.
Okay, so tomorrow, quickly. First up, we're going to see New Zealand taking on Namibia in the early match. Devin, easy win for New Zealand.
Easy. And then it
You say easy. Scotland put up a fight for the chase there, no boss.
I mean, yeah, easy win that for New Zealand tomorrow. Like I said, I'm looking either that game.
Alright.
I'm making it comfortable. I'm looking either that game. I'm looking to the Sunday game against Africa.
Yeah, I think New Zealand will win.
All right, and in the next game, do you guys actually think that India can continue to help their net runway to try to have a outside shot of qualifying for the tournament? I mean, they face Scotland tomorrow. What do you think about that one, Dio?
Yeah, India rounding into form a bit too late for me. I still think that they won't make it through. But you know, I think they will dominate Scotland as well. Yeah.
Okay. Um, we reach a stage of the show where I'm going to give you all a minute to talk about whatever you want to talk about. So, Devin, it's your minute.
Me I go away from cricket though. Yeah, man, I go away from cricket. I go to the NFL, and it's an off the field incident. You know, Thames was the first one I see break it with the guy, the wide receiver from Raiders, and you know, driving in his car going at 156 miles per hour and ran into a white lady. Everybody keeps stressing this white lady, crash into the lady's car in the back of a Toyota. Car burn up, the dog burn up, the lady burn up. The lady was crying for help and got burned up. So this thing with these young black millennials, right? I just think they should be responsible. I remember one time I was talking about this. There was this young in the last NBA draft. There was this guy. I can't remember me when I had this game, and I even called a few radio shows to talk about the youth. He was at I think he was at Kentucky, if I don't, and they gave him an honorary draftee in the NBA. Run through a red light. That guy was gonna be a sure pick. Run a red light in his car, died. And I just feel sorry for these families because these families was looking for to be a millionaire. You know, a lot of these people when they get drafted, you know, say me as a cousin or even a second cousin, I'm not even going to work again for the rest of my life. You know? So these people are gonna be worried. What? That's not work, brother. Yeah, my brother get drafted. Yo, so that what these families looking at, you know, even though there is a loss of life and these young black men turn away their life with this irresponsible thing, you know, you got to understand a lot of other people are affected by these things. You know, the economic value, emotional value. Plus, I went and read up on this thing too. Levon, I didn't read up for the NBA. The NFL, they have a policy whereby if you feel like you're in a situation where you can't drive, they will send an Uber for you wherever you are. You know what I'm saying? And they will also send whatever cost it is to get your vehicle into a safe place and get you home safely, and they will cover it free of cost. You get what I'm saying? So they know these things. They gotta be more responsible. Video showing now before he did the same thing with his girlfriend in our car like in 2020. My girlfriend was saying, "Slow down," you know. He got away with this. So these guys, man, these young black man, gotta be more.
All right.
Feel it to the youth, man.
Okay. Demo, your minute.
Yeah, so firstly I want to take 5 seconds to big up Ja Morant, you know, one of the top players in the NBA right now. Please, people, give him flowers. He needs it right now.
Yes.
12 all day. Remember 12. Yeah. And secondly, big up everybody in the comment section and big up Sports Frenzy. Thanks for having us here tonight for talk some cricket and stuff. I'm very disappointed. Say verily. I'm very disappointed with the West Indies. And I think that, as the things say, heads must roll at the top. I think the decisions that some of these guys made and the excuses with them give us, especially with the O'Shea and Thomas thing, things just don't add up. And yeah, it was just madness to me. And I'm very disappointed, especially seeing that we're two-time champions and we won't be able to defend our title, unfortunately. But the good news is that the World Cup comes again next year, and we'll have a chance to make wrong right next time. So watch some cricket and listen. Remember my call, Afghanistan to the semis. It's still on. Don't watch how India beat them up. Afghanistan will make it to the semis. All right.
All right, Demo. So you just mentioned that was the good news, right? I also have some good news. The official debut will be tomorrow. They are here.
What?
This is the first of the editions.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they're here. So tomorrow you'll see the official launch of it. So guys,
Hold on.
I need you all to support Sports Frenzy.
Hold on, how may I get my own boss? I don't understand.
That one.
The tricky
I
part.
got to send somebody to because doing the supposed to go down. I go make doing.
No, we're not for sort that out.
Yeah, doing is coming here, man.
I need mine.
Man.
Yeah, man, but they're here, man. They're here, and tomorrow you won't be seeing me in any of these shirts, man. Tomorrow you actually see me in a different shirt. So just know that they're here. And it's quite affordable, guys. It's not the price that is going to kill us. So you know that already. You can contact us via Facebook, via the message on our Facebook, via the number on our Facebook page, and also on our Instagram page at Sports Frenzy. So go on over to Instagram and contact us through our Instagram page, and we'll make it happen.
Hold on, Levan. But no, you say it's going to launch tomorrow and get all of the big things. But just one color we have right now, or we work on the rest of colors, or what?
All right, so this boy is pulling some
All
punches.
right.
Yeah,
No,
you
do
said
it
tomorrow
tomorrow.
the
Do it
official
tomorrow.
launch,
Do it
man. But
tomorrow.
we
Do
have
it
them in
tomorrow.
black.
Do it tomorrow.
All right, boss. Say no more. And on
Yeah.
that note, thanks to all of you guys for supporting Sports Frenzy. And we look forward to you guys supporting our merch because guess what? That is how we'll know that you actually rate us and you rate Sports Frenzy. So support the merch as long as you launch tomorrow. And let's keep on supporting Sports Frenzy. Thanks to our producer Josh Collins, makes it possible. Thanks to Devin. Thanks to Shakes was here earlier. And thanks to Demo, who the people call out in the comment section. From I came on, I just see people saying, "Where's Demo? Where's Demo? Where's Demo?" And
Yeah.
Demo heard the calling and he came by. So again, thanks to the commenters, thanks to all the viewers, thanks to all those who sit behind the computer screen, the laptop, and whatever screen they sit behind and watch and just view. Thanks all of you. Until tomorrow, stay safe, guys. Peace out. Enjoy the rest of your night.